my brain works in mysterious ways. We're live? What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 3 already. Man, time flies. So, as you know, live questions get priority. So we have a question for the app, which we will cover on the app for sure, which is that alternative backtake. How do you climb up? How do you kind of maintain control over the guy? So we will cover that on the app. If you miss it and you want to check it out on the app, you get 3 free days anyway, so might as well try it out. But anyways, the 2 topics that I've been really focusing in my classes this week and is 1 and 2, which I'll give you a choice, or if you have other questions, start firing away. The format. Guys, 1 is risk return. Yeah, I don't have a good graph, and the other one is pace and rhythm. Both of these are extremely important. I think the risk return is probably a little bit more longer term project. They both take a long time to. It's easy to understand the concept. It's hard to actually put it into practice and start reaping benefits from it. So, guys, I know. So when I was in college and business school, statistics was actually one of my favorite subjects, and the reason for that is because you could use numbers to figure out numbers don't lie. One of the things that I recently posted, and a couple of people came up with different methodology, but the numbers again is the same as ADCC. The last 3 ADCC finishes, which are very telling because even during the time when everybody was focusing on leg locks, the number 1 was rear naked choke and number 2 was armbar. And then Michael Zanga from BJJ Fanatics put up something, I don't know which tournament he took, and again, the statistics is very telling. So what I have a recommendation for you, you don't have to understand math, you don't have to like math, but again, in Jiu-Jitsu, you want to focus on high percentage moves. This graph is basically, what does that mean? So, unless we have any questions, guys, I'm going to start with the graph. Let me put my glasses on so I look more learned, so you believe it comes from a good source.
We only have 1 question at the moment. We have a lot of good mornings from MJ, Eli, Dansberg.
What's up, guys?
Mr. Galarzo asked, where can he get a board like that?
Which Mr. Galarza? Enrique? Enrique, don't make me come down to Florida. I don't know. It's from Amazon or something. I'm sure it's made in China. And
they would like the stats.
Huh?
Dansberg would like to see the stats.
Well, the stats I posted. They're on my Facebook and Instagram or whatever. I just share it. But the stats are very interesting. So, guys, when when you're brand new, you're a white belt. A lot of times you just learn everything. But once you sort of start to get a little bit advanced, you need to sort of start to think about it in terms of risk and return. Just like investment, right? Your crazy cousin comes up with an idea to feed chickens ethanol and make them fly into the stratosphere and put up what do you call it? One of those broadcasting satellites. That's a high risk. Maybe too high. What is the potential return? Okay, you need to look at things like that. So what does that mean in Jiu-Jitsu? In Jiu-Jitsu, we usually start with low risk, low return, and that's usually grip fighting. If you screw it up, you can usually just strip, so if me and Craig are sort of grip fighting, so this is relatively low risk. But it can get, high risk very quickly once somebody gets ahead. But let's put some, so I got these nifty little magnets here. Let's put some actual sort of magnets, meaning techniques. Where do they fall in? One of the good ones. This is Mr. Enriquez. So guys, Craig is in X guard, right? And I messed up and I got caught in X guard. So normally I would try to strip it like this, possibly step through, but he got in way too far, starts to stretch me out. So I have a high risk move, which is a rolling back take. But it's also a high return, and I need to look at it, that return. What can that do for me? It can take, I can go from potentially being picked apart where he's either going into my legs or gets a sweep and I'm suddenly on his back, okay? So I'm gonna bring my knee to his hips. I'm gonna roll, and now I'm hunting for Craig's back. So, high risk, high return. If you're in a submission-only tournament, or you're losing and the guy starts to get ahead, it might be worthwhile. But let's, high risk, high returns up here somewhere. But it can win you the match. You can get a submission, okay? Now, let's look at another variation of it, right? So, this time, I'm top side control like this. And I decide to bring my leg between his and take his back. Okay? Is this a high risk move? Absolutely, because I need to not just consider the fact that at one point in that sequence, I go to symmetrical position. So, I'm here. And I roll. Right here, Craig, if he, by the way, Enrique did this to me many times when I tried to do this to him. Kick. And he can suddenly start hunting for my back. So, if you're really good at this, and you're losing, you may want to do this, because it's a high risk, potentially high return. But, if I'm in this side control, why the hell would I do that move? Why would I not just bring my arm deep, connect to my bicep, and finish it? High return, low risk. So again, let's look at that rolling back take. I would actually put that risk over here even. You don't need to be precise, guys. You don't need to, these are not mathematical formulas, but if you want to start to think that way, this is super high risk, that rolling back take from your top side control. Contrast that with low risk, high return. This is where you want to be, guys. This is the money moves. The high risk, low return, that's where you want to avoid. I hope he's not watching. I do have a student, one of my students is he's lets guys pass guard and do something stupid, and I yell at him because he tells me, it works sometimes 40% of the time. So where would we put that on the chart? So it's high risk because if he screws it up, he's bottom side control. So the risk is very high, and the return is low. So it's against over here. So generally speaking, guys, you want to kind of avoid high risk moves that potentially can, sometimes it can be spectacular. A baseball bat choke from the bottom. That's a high risk move, but high return. But again, that's when you do it once. When you try to do it repeatedly to the same person, the risk remains the same, but the return, meaning it goes significantly down. So if you hit a good black belt with a baseball bat choke from the bottom, I don't think you're going to hit that guy ever again. That's a problem. That's a move that you probably should not rely on your bread and butter. Yeah, if I'm going with a 250-pound goon, I'm like getting tired of you know, defending my guard, and you know, I'm like, oh man, I think he's gonna pass the guard. Yeah, that's when you go for it. That's it. But do not go to the well too many times, because that will bite you in the ass. So we're out of time, guys, but maybe it's a good thing to add some math to your jiu-jitsu.
We just had one little comment from Enrique, just as a follow-up. You're more than welcome to come to Florida. MJ seconds that for you to come to Florida. And also Enrique said he specializes in high risk, low return BJJ.
No, he doesn't. He's like when he does the rolling back take, man. If I initiate, he will probably wind up on my back. I'm scrambling, but he usually initiates from the guard, which is basically it's a neutral position. So especially if you're going, you know, if you're doing the rolling back take from the guard and it's a submission only, first of all, he's very good at it. That's the other thing, guys. If you're going to specialize in high-risk moves, make sure you become really good at it. So that way, if the guy is actually trying to counter, you can always make them pay for it or wind up in a good position. And Enrique usually can do that.
And last thing, Gilbert said thank you for the details about defending the belly down arm bar. It's been working.
Oh, nice. Guys, there's nothing better than hearing that the stuff that we talk about electronically, it actually works. And by the way, I get a lot of messages like this. Guys, I love hearing them. I'll talk to you next time.